Look at this city, Manhattan. 7 million tons of steel. Concrete foundations driven 80 feet into bedrock. Glass towers that scrape clouds. You see permanence. You see monuments to human achievement. You believe this will last forever. You are wrong. Stop maintaining the city for 500 years. The steel corrodes. The concrete crumbles. Water finds every crack. Freeze and thaw cycles pulverize foundations. Roots tear apart roadways. Skyscrapers collapse floor by floor. In 500 years, Manhattan becomes ruins. Wait, 1 million years, the ruins vanish completely. Bacteria consume the last organic materials. Metal oxidizes into rust and dissolves. Rivers change course and flood the lowlands. Sediment buries everything 300 feet deep. The greatest city ever built becomes geology. Now wait 50 million years. Tectonic plates shift. The Atlantic Ocean spreads wider by 50 miles. The Hudson River Valley is now 3,000 feet underground, compressed into sedimentary rock. Mountains rise and erode. Glaciers advance and retreat 20 times. Everything you knew is gone. Not abandoned, not destroyed, erased. Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Our species has existed for 200,000 years. Industrial civilization for 200 years. We have been here for 0.06% of Earth's history. We assume we are the first. But what if we are not? You think ancient civilizations would leave fossils, bones, skulls, tools. You think we would find them. This is the fossil fallacy. Fossilization is not preservation. It is replacement. Water seeps into bone, minerals crystallize in the tiny spaces, calcium is swapped for silica, iron calcite, the original bone dissolves. What remains is a stone sculpture that remembers the shape. This process requires perfect conditions. Out of every 10,000 organisms that die, maybe one gets buried quickly enough. Of those, maybe 1 in 10,000 becomes fossilized. Of those, maybe 1 in 10,000 survives plate tectonics, erosion, and subduction zones long enough for humans to find it. The odds are 1 in a trillion. Now consider this. Dinosaurs roamed Earth for 165 million years. They lived everywhere. Forests, plains, swamps, coastlines, billions of individuals across every continent. Industrial humans have existed for 200 years. We concentrate in cities that cover 3% of land area. We number 8 billion now. If we vanished tomorrow, how many of us would fossilize? Almost none. Imagine a civilization that lasted 100,000 years, 10 times longer than recorded human history. But on a geological timescale, 100,000 years is 3 seconds. It appears in the rock record as a moment, a flash, an anomaly. If they built cities like ours, concentrated in small areas, living on the surface where erosion is merciless, they would leave nothing. Your phone contains 60 different elements, rare earth metals, cobalt, lithium, intricate circuits. In 50 million years, it becomes a thin layer of oxidized minerals mixed with sediment, a geochemical smudge, nothing more. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. 56 million years ago, something catastrophic happened. Earth's temperature spiked by 8 degrees Celsius, not over millions of years, over thousands. On a geological timescale, this is instantaneous. Scientists call it the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, the PETM. The planet got hot, fast. The Arctic had palm trees. Antarctica had forests. Ocean temperatures at the poles reached 20 degrees Celsius. Crocodiles swam in Greenland. There was no ice on Earth. Something pumped enormous amounts of carbon into the atmosphere. The oceans absorbed it and acidified. 30% to 50% of deep-sea species went extinct. This was global warming, 56 million years ago. Here's where it gets disturbing. Scientists measure carbon isotopes in ancient rocks. Carbon comes in different weights. Carbon-12 is light, carbon-13 is heavy. Plants prefer carbon-12. So when you burn plants or fossil fuels, you release carbon-12 into the atmosphere. The PETM shows a massive spike in carbon-12, the exact signature of burning organic carbon. The mainstream explanation is volcanism. The North Atlantic was splitting open. Iceland was being born. Massive lava flows cooked organic-rich sediments and released methane from the seafloor. This probably happened, but there is a problem. The speed. The The carbon spike at the PTM happened over 3,000 to 20,000 years. Volcanoes release carbon steadily over millions of years. The PTM was too fast, too concentrated. It looks like something burned through a finite carbon reserve very quickly, then stopped, just like industrial civilization would. Could an industrial civilization have existed in the Eocene? Could they have burned fossil fuels, warmed the planet, and vanished before the Earth reset itself? We have no proof, but we have a signature, a chemical fingerprint in the rocks. A moment when Earth got hot exactly the way it is getting hot now. The Silurian Hypothesis asks, would we even know if they existed? If our civilization vanished today, what would we leave behind? Not buildings, not bones, that's cities, chemistry. Plastics degrade. UV light and oxygen break them into smaller pieces, microplastics, nanoplastics. Eventually, they become molecules, but those molecules are synthetic. Nature does not make polyethylene or polystyrene. The chemical signature remains in the rock. 50 million years from now, our era would appear as a thin layer where carbon chains have the wrong structure, a plastic horizon. Then there is plutonium. Plutonium-244 does not exist in nature. It is synthetic, created in nuclear reactors. It has a half-life of 80 million years. Every nuclear weapon test, every reactor meltdown, every piece of nuclear waste spreads plutonium across the planet. It is the ultimate techno-signature, radioactive proof that an industrial species was here. We have created forever chemicals, PFAS, perfluoroalkyl substances, used in cookware, waterproof clothing, firefighting foam. They contain carbon-fluorine bonds, the strongest bond in organic chemistry. They do not break down, they accumulate. 50 million years from now, there will be a layer in the rocks where fluorine appears in organic molecules. This does not happen naturally. It would be a beacon, a signal that something intelligent was manipulating chemistry. Between 1945 and 1963, humans detonated over 500 nuclear weapons in the atmosphere. Radioactive isotopes spread across every continent. They are in the ice cores, in tree rings, in sediment layers at the bottom of oceans. Cesium-137, strontium-90, carbon-14 spikes. These isotopes do not occur naturally. They are artificial. They mark the exact moment industrial civilization achieved nuclear fission. If another civilization rises 50 million years from now, they will find this layer. They will detect the chemistry. They will see the spike in carbon-12, the plastic molecules, the plutonium, the synthetic fluorine compounds. They will ask the same question we are asking now. Was this natural, or was something here before us? Earth is not a museum. It is a recycling plant. Continents drift, mountains rise and erode, ocean floors are created at mid-ocean ridges and destroyed at subduction zones. Every 200 million years, the entire ocean floor is replaced. Every 500 million years, continents collide into supercontinents and break apart again. The planet erases its own history. Here's a pattern. Sunlight and photosynthesis pull carbon from the atmosphere. Plants and plankton die. Their carbon gets buried. Over millions of years, pressure and heat transform them into coal, oil, gas. The carbon is locked underground. Then something digs it up and burns it. The carbon returns to the atmosphere. The planet warms. The climate destabilizes. If you burn through your carbon reserves too quickly, you trigger runaway warming. Food systems collapse. Oceans acidify. Your civilization destabilizes. Not through war, not through asteroids, through simple thermodynamics. You collapse. Your population crashes. Your cities are abandoned. Then the planet heals. It takes 100,000 years for the carbon cycle to restabilize. It takes 10 million years for biodiversity to recover fully. But it does recover. Earth always recovers. It has survived 5 mass extinctions. It will survive us. 50 million years pass. Tectonic forces bury your ruins. Erosion removes every trace. New life forms evolve. Eventually, one becomes intelligent. They develop language, tools, agriculture, science. They discover coal, oil, gas, concentrated carbon that nature has been storing for 100 million years. They begin to burn it. Maybe this is the pattern. Maybe intelligence is not rare. Maybe it is common. But maybe it is also brief. A species becomes intelligent enough to extract fossil fuels intelligent enough to industrialize, but not intelligent enough to stop before triggering its own collapse. They burn the carbon, they warm the planet, they vanish. Earth resets. The cycle repeats. The Silurian hypothesis is not about aliens. It is not a conspiracy theory. It is a thought experiment about humility. We look at our cities and see permanence. We look at our technology and see mastery. We look at the future and assume we will be there. But geology does not care about our assumptions. Thermodynamics does not care about our ambitions. Entropy does not negotiate. We are not building monuments. We are building our own geological signature. A thin layer of plastic, plutonium, and carbon anomalies. A chemical obituary. 50 million years from now, if anyone looks, they will find this layer. They will ask, what happened here? Who were they? Why did they burn all the carbon? The PETM happened 56 million years ago. We still don't know what caused it. Volcanoes, probably. But we cannot rule out the alternative. Cannot prove there was no civilization. Cannot prove we are the first to make this mistake. The Earth has been here for 4.5 billion years. It will be here for 5 billion more. We are just passing through. We are not the landlords of Earth. We are just the current tenants, and we are running out of time to learn the difference.